read her book?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Anyway, my name is Danibus. Joining me as always is The.Spectre. It is Wednesday night, which means it is DotA's hard in-house night, bringing you the very best of the worst gamers in Australia.
Best of the worst, we're the tallest midgets. Let's go.
Yes, indeed. Now, due to Game 1 being promptly cancelled due to a disconnect, we do not have any of our banter. So, Mr. Spectre, I will say again, you have been cheating on me.
I have.
Why don't you tell us what you were doing?
I've been casting tournament games for the AMD Premier League with Lily.
Wow, what a nice step for you.
I'm sorry.
If only the rest of us could have this opportunity.
I'm sorry. I want to include you too. I want to have dirty casting threesomes with you.
All of my input, my game knowledge,
your vast encyclopedic knowledge of all the hero skills.
My insight, it's just yeah.
I'm gonna say Visage first.
Someone's having technical difficulties.
Oh, someone's having technical difficulties. That's not good. Hopefully it was just a spectator. It would be funny if it was Notime and they just random their whole draft.
Ah, that would be awesome. Oh, I got Eminem's mixed bag. Oh, that's awesome too.
You fat shit.
The nut bunch.
I like how the fourth player over on the Dessa side, his name is Chuans, Lesbian sister.
He means Blitz?
Oh man, that bike riding video.
I love how the comment for ages was like, it's like, Purge, Chuan's sister's really hot.
So we're gonna see the Keeper of the Light and the OD picked up for the Dire side as their combo pick. Now, I think that's the only chance where you get to pick up two heroes in a row. I think the Dire may have one after the next. No, because it goes bands, and then they pick up one. Yeah. So the Dire, or rather the first pick after the first pick, so the second and third pick, are the only picks in the drafting stage now where you get two picks. So it's the only time that you can do a combo. So something like SD Lena or SD Lashrak, or just something that you really want in like a combo that's vital for your team. And they go for the Keeper of the Light and the OD. You could go for something like Wisp CK, of course, if they did ban out the Wisp.
Shush. Do both teams get a two in a row?
No, they don't.
Isn't that kind of unfair?
Well, no, because one team gets first pick, so that's the kind of balance out. So basically, the first team to pick gets the hero that everyone probably wants, and then the second team gets to draft their kind of combo duo. That's the thought behind it, at least. It's
I would
just
have
like,
thought one, then two, and then the other team gets two.
But then you get first pick and a combo, like in the first three picks. Maybe if they did it after the second ban phase, or rather after the second ban phase. So you already have 4 heroes banned out. So you got the first pick, and you get a combo pick, but 8 heroes have already been banned out, and they may have been picked already. So I don't think that would be too bad.
Alright, I have another theory. Blind picking for the first pick. If you pick the same hero, it does a randomizer to see which team gets him. That way nobody's disadvantaged.
I think a better way to do it would be that it gets banned out.
It's true. It's true, that'd be good. Both teams pick it, gets banned.
Yeah, it's
like
just
like a house ban.
Yeah, basically.
And then people will be like, oh, I don't want to... Oh, that'd be good, actually, because they'd be like, oh, we want to pick the Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
We can't accidentally get him banned, so let's not first pick him.
I think what would be good, though, is if the team had first pick, if they picked something that was different to the other team's first pick, they would still get it. So you could try and fake it out by, like, if the Dire went to pick Shadow Demon and the Radiant picked Shadow Demon, it bans them out. But if the Radiant pick out Sniper and the Dire ban out Shadow Demon, then the Radiant gets Sniper and then the Dire get to pick their normal heroes. So it'd be like full-on mind games on whether you want to allow them to have one or you think they're going to try and pick it and so you try to give them a crap hero by picking something different. But back to the draft. The Shadow Demon and Leshrac were the first two pickups. Combo very well. Disruption into Split Earth. It's our standard kind of tri-lane combo of supports. The Leshrac interchangeable with the Lina. Just because they're both AoE stunners with ranged attacks, so they're good for lane harass as well.
Leshrac's better for pushing, though.
He is. He's definitely better for pushing. So he's seen in more aggressive tri-lanes, and they're usually seen with a farmer like Juggernaut or someone that can throw out a healing ward and does a lot of damage early on, and has a really good mid-game impact, so you can really capitalize on the tower gold that you get from pushing down those towers early. We're on the side of the Dire at the moment. Keeper of the Light, OD, and Bane aren't the strongest heroes. They're all great in their own way. Keeper of the Light is going to make up for the counter pushing that Bane can't do. OD is decent when he gets some attack speed up, but not the best for clearing off creeps, especially in the early to mid game. But more than likely we're going to see an OD versus a Magnus mid, and OD should just completely crap all over Magnus in that lane. The only little trick that I've seen that worked quite well was when a Magnus picked up a bottle. Whenever he got Astral Imprisoned to 80 mana, he would just use a bottle charge, which would restore his full mana pool, so as soon as one of the imprisonments wore off, he could still use Shockwave and he would have a full mana pool. But it's still not the best, and he's a melee hero, so the last hits are really only going to come through Shockwave past about level 5.
Well, the Windrunner of the offlane.
And at the moment...
Lirelai.
Lirelai. And the Dire are picking up 4 int heroes at the moment. It could be a good way to... Well, basically the OD Essence Aura is going to work really well for their team. They do have the Chakra Magic as well, but with, the Windrunner spamming out Power Shots and Shackle Shots, Keeper of the Light using all of his spells everywhere like crazy, Bane also can possibly spam out more spells even more in team fights.
Oh, Darkseer.
The Darkseer indeed. Both teams, actually, the Radiant are really lacking on kind of physical damage. They could run Magnus as kind of a semi-carry for their team, seen usually more as like a utility hero, but they don't have any sort of damage-dealing carry at the moment.
I just love Darkseer's, he obviously has great synergy with the Magnus, comboing into the RP very well, and the RP comboing it with his wall. And then also great synergy with Leshrac, because you can just pull people back into range of all of his AoE damagey woozits.
And you even have Split Earth to follow up on RP for an even longer stun, all the while doing Pulse Nova and Edict damage to him as well. Shadow Demon can throw the Shadow Poisons through on the clumped up enemies, so at the moment really good combos. And they just really need that one carry that's going to be really good for them in lane. Personally, I think the Juggernaut is the way to go, because he has the spin early game to basically get past all of the magic harass that the Dire can put out at the moment, and he's going to be really aggressive and can help push down towers with the Shadow Demon Leshrac that they have currently. Oddly banning out Clockwork at the moment. I don't really know why, unless...
Clockwork is a terror. I mean, he's horrible.
Yeah, but unless the Windrunner is going to be used as like a tri-lane farmer or a tri-lane support, I think they already have their offlaner.
Clockwork's a terrible offlaner.
Clockwork,
awful. I hate him.
Clockwork is really bad to go against if you're Magnus and Darkseer. I can understand that, but I think this late into the draft and with already having a Windrunner, I don't think they would have been going for that Clockwork, personally. Most likely they're going to be picking up a semi-carry, something like a Queen of Pain and do decently, but I'm not sure. And on the side of the Radiant, Juggernaut is my top pick for if they're running an offensive tri-lane. If they're going to go defensive, I'd say the Anti-Mage. At the moment you've got 4 intelligence heroes on the other team. Even with Essence Aura, one of them is going to be extremely low mana at some point. At that point, you're just going to be able to blow up the enemy team.
And the Coddle keeping him as well.
Sven stands ready.
And the Sven, the first melee hero and the first non-intelligence.
So...
Going for the big hat man himself.
We're going to see quite a bit of synergy between
Oh, and a
the
Mirana.
Keeper of the Light and the Sven.
One of the worst carries in the game.
I was going to say the Radiant team are very, very weak if they don't capitalize early game. They have no
This is a
true...
push. Push
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, they're really going to need to push it like crazy.
Yeah,
But the
I'm
Keeper of the
not,
Light and Sven combo I like a lot because it can let him freely throw out stuns. Usually his mana pool is his biggest problem. And it's going to solve that completely. Plus you can combo that up with something like, you know, the Bane Sleep to get Sven in range for it. And the Bane Sleep also lets Keeper of the Light set up a big Illuminate Blast in lane.
Now, Sleep always, well, Nightmare always sort of worries me, but let's get the players out first.
Alrighty, on the side of the Radiant we have Virus on the Magnus,
Places
Cashen
everyone.
on the Shadow Demon, Merideus on the Darkseer, Patrick Lim on the Mirana, and Dish on the Leshrac.
And on the side of the Dire, Notime playing the Sven, Shockz taking on the Windrunner, EJ playing that OD Outworld Devourer, I suppose he is now.
That is.
Blitz playing the Keeper of the Light, and Dessa playing that Bane.
Bane already picking up lots of wards and tangos. Gonna see no stat items on him at all. Of course, Bane having completely even stat gain and starting stats, which is kind of cool. I thought when I first started playing Dota, I noticed that. I was like, oh, that's
It's just
pretty
22,
cool.
22, 22.
I think his stat gain
He
is
is
still the same, unless he's been changed since, you know, I was
30
playing
seconds
Battle.net
to
and I just haven't
showtime.
really paid attention to it.
He's just the most even hero in the game. Of course, yeah. I mean, what do you yeah. What are you gonna say?
yeah.
What are you gonna say?
Dish having the full Leshrac set, looking very fancy. Got his horns and spikes and spindles, and he's tricked out. And they are
And here
both
we
teams
go.
going to be running tri-lanes, defensive tri-lanes. The Sven has a really cool sword. I haven't seen that before. The tuning fork.
High hopes for this one.
Not amazing, but something I haven't seen in game. It kind of looks like a... It should be shooting out laser beams. Merideus, of course, going to be off lane on the Darkseer. He's going to be just going up in that off lane. Going to keep a skill point up and ready. He really needs that level 2 to have both Surge and Ion Shell, but he already skills the Ion Shell, so if Bane manages to get a sleep off him, he may be in a bit of trouble, but Bane hasn't skilled up anything as of yet. Just going to harass him out with the right-click damage. Meanwhile,
He's just waiting.
Cashen places down a lane ward to spot out that Windrunner, who doesn't have any sentries on her, nor any wards, so that camp at bottom is going to be body blocked, I think, by Dish himself, possibly looking for the stack. I'm not sure what went on there. Maybe Windrunner
I don't
was
see the
even
point
in
of
there.
trying to zone out a Darkseer. I mean, it's a Darkseer. You can't zone him out. He doesn't have to be there.
Well, that's
mean,
the
for
point.
XP,
It's
sure.
for experience, yeah, exactly. That's what they're trying to stop. So he doesn't have the Surge and Ion Shell, and so he can't get any other levels up. At the
He's
moment,
in
that-
there. Look at him. Look at them little bold little shit. Look at him.
At the moment, he's got more experience than the Bane that's harassing him out.
Yeah, because he's a beast. Because he's Darkseer. He don't care.
Meanwhile, in mid lane, Magnus is actually outlaning the OD, sitting at 6 and 4, 7 and 4 now, where the OD is sitting at 6 and 1. But that's going to ramp up a lot as you get more points into the Astral Imprisonment.
This is interesting and something I didn't realize had happened in the change. They've actually replaced again the wall of replica image art thing there on his button to take it, so it's no longer the wall of blowjobs as it was before. The glory wall.
Oh, great. At the moment,
Yeah,
it looks like
I'm glad they've gotten rid of the glory wall.
Windrunner's
It's good.
just stacking up Ancients, actually trying to kill them
Just
off
sure
a little bit
attempting
here.
to.
I think she's just using Windrun to not get hit by auto attack. She manages to kill off one of them, so good job. Merideus actually dropping really low. Gonna probably go down to one more auto attack from the Coddle, and Coddle gets the last hit. Blitz doing his job in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty unfair to have Blitz in this kind of a level of game.
I know.
He is, you know, I mean he's no Purge, but he's a pretty good player.
And he does TP back to lane instantly. He's going to get a lot of experience from this big fat wave. So he's going to hit the level 2 and be well on his way to level 3 if he doesn't just outright hit it from these 3 range creeps, which I think he might just be off or just get it. No, just 5 experience off. Meanwhile, Windrunner takes that illusion rune down at bottom, and she has stacked up that camp, just doing some auto attack damage, trying to kill him off.
We're pinging on the Darks here at the top here, but I don't think they can get him. Interesting note that the Ion Shell doesn't take off the salve, doesn't burn the salve.
It does at higher levels.
Damage.
At level 2, it doesn't do enough damage. I think the threshold is 50 and it only just does 50, so minus magical resistance, it doesn't do enough.
Right.
Whereas at level 3 it does. So it also works with Pudge's Rot. I think that has to be level 3 as well before it does anything. So if you've got a Pudge chasing you but he's out of melee range, but you're getting hit by Rot, you can salve through it. And it's a really good way of staying alive.
No. Yes, the amount of times, I swear. Bloody Pudge.
EJ's picked up an early buckler, so he's going to be spamming that out to try and proc Essence Aura usages. It does actually work, as well as stupidly empty drums. If you click on an empty drum as an OD, or as someone on the OD's team, it can proc off Essence Aura.
How bizarre. Can you just keep hitting, like, how often can you click it?
It has the same cooldown still, so you can't just go click, 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 click.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But you can.
It'd be like.
Yeah, exactly. It'd just be infinite mana all the time.
There was a bug a while ago where you could toggle Medusa's split shot, and it would.
It would proc Essence Aura, was it?
I think it only lasted for an afternoon before Valve fixed it.
I remember there was a problem with tread switching where if you cast the Mana Snake under Intelligence Treads and then switched back to Strength Treads, the mana return from the snake would be a lot bigger because you had the lower intelligence pool.
Yeah, percentage-wise.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
but I think they changed that.
Well, OD's convincingly leading the last hits against the Magnus, but that's pretty expected. Mag is beating him on denies though, so he's a little bit further ahead in the levels. He's hit his 6 while the OD still struggles towards.
It is something very important to deny when
he's
you
doing
can.
Reasonably well.
Yeah, people really underestimate in lane like how strong denying is. If you're denying 11 creeps and they're only getting half the experience, or I think it's a third of the experience for range heroes, every 3 creeps that you deny off is a creep that no one gets. And we're going to see a kill on bottom lane. Dish getting really low, taking a tower hit, but salving up, so he's not going to die, but most likely going to have to TP back to base because he is so low. It looks like we may have had a Disruption split shot arrow combo. So that's something else I didn't speak about. The Disruption into arrow is also a really good setup. If you can time it properly, it's great. Another good skill choice by the Keeper of the Light in this top lane was to grab that mana leak early on. So when Darkseer tries to surge away, all of his mana just disappears. And that's actually how he got the first blood. Didn't mention it at the time because you could see the animation, but it's a really nice skill pickup if you're versing something like a Windrunner or a Darkseer in that off lane, just to get a really early point up in that mana leak.
Yeah, no, it's a good pickup. A lot of people don't grab it.
Dish has actually transferred up to top lane, so I think Shadow Demon and Mirana, knowing that they've completely harassed the Windrunner out of lane at this point and can just... they don't really need the Leshrac there, although I'm not really sure how much the Leshrac is going to do in top lane. I think if the Darkseer is really having that much of a problem, which I don't believe he is, then he could just switch to the jungle for more gold.
Yeah. Lesh is there for moral support, to steal his experience as well, and to show off his big pretty horns.
We say
at the moment, not even sitting in experience range, so maybe not wanting to reveal the fact he's there. I'm not sure if the Dire's picked up that he has moved, but we're going to see a rotation from the supports from the Dire side. Bane and Keeper of the Light are going into middle. We might see a bit of a setup on Magnus, but the
Lesh
Shadow
revealing
Demon...
himself.
But the Shadow Demon is behind Mag, so they might expect this. They didn't have a ward at top to spot out the rotation. So not too sure what's going to happen. Meanwhile, Mirana and Windrunner just trading last hits at the moment. The Windrunner actually only about 3/4 of a level behind the priestess just because of the princess, I think she's called now, just because of the way the tri-lane works. The tri-lane supports, of course, get a bit of experience, and Windrunner was able to stay in enough experience range, and also just the pulls weren't as effective as they could be. We're going to see a sleep up at top. The Illuminate's channeled out, and Dish is just going to go down instantly after the sleep wears off from the Illuminate and stun damage coming out from Sven and Coddle.
Oh, but the counter gank is coming in. One man up
the
base,
RP only hits on one, and then Disrupted. Mag isn't going to be able to hit him at the moment. He comes out, but he gets Mana Leak. So there's going to be no follow-up. Notime just goes into the backlines and kills off the Shadow Demon with a God Strength. The arrow from Mirana flies through, but it's not going to hit him. He's got a... Ooh, he's going to get out. The charge comes through too late from the Magnus.
No vacuum picked up on the Darks there. I think this is a big mistake. I always want to pick up an early level of vacuum.
I think
just to break this...
in an offlane...
does it break the...
It does. It breaks TP, yes. I think...
It's not just a move.
No, it's... Well, it is a move, but it says it in the tooltip. It says disrupting them. It's not a mini stun, but it is like a disruption kind of thing. So
yeah, it's just slightly different from say the CK swap, which doesn't break TP.
Yeah, exactly. So usually in an offlane situation, you do what he's done and get 2 points up in the surge, just because the extra second and a half is actually very valuable in an offlane situation. You'll probably find that he was going to grab vacuum next level. But unfortunately not hitting that level 6 before it's needed. I gotta say, a bit of a mistake.
Kill if you had of.
I was gonna say it's more of a mistake on the Magnus's part, not trying to skewer in before, because you have a 50-50 chance of him going up or down. If he went down, you're gonna kill off the tri-lane carry if you hit him. So you don't need vision of it to hit, and it destroys trees. So I think he
probably just not thinking of it.
Yeah, I think he probably should have skewered forward, but it's something to think about for next time. I'm sure he's going to note that down and go, next time he's going to skewer somewhere, even if I miss up, try it at least. So, but the mag rotation, while it did produce, I don't think they didn't even get a kill from that, did they? Oh, did it get one kill?
Yeah, from somewhere.
But it
I don't
think they did. So, OD's basically just got free farm in the middle here while that Magnus is rotated. In fact, all 5 heroes from the Radiant are at top at the moment. So really there's farm just going completely to waste on the bottom lane, and Outworld Devourer is just getting free farm in the mid lane. So I really don't agree with this current kind of sort of rotation at the moment. Ooh, Leshrac hitting a nice blind 2-man stun with the Split Earth. The Warcry is going to go off from Sven, trying to get in range. But Bane's currently blocking him off. He does have the treads. The stun comes out, but it's going to be wasted and stopped by the sleep. Oh, and the Shadow Demon throws out a nice disruption, stops the Illuminate damage. Sanity's Eclipse comes through, the Arcane Orbs are flying. He's going to get 1 kill, is it going to be 2? The disruption comes out, the stun follow-up, and that's a double kill for EJ on the OD.
His name makes no sense anymore.
Why?
Like, when he was Obsidian Destroyer, I mean, he's made of obsidian, and he's a destroyer.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Why is he suddenly from space?
I don't know. I have no idea. But also EJ only 200 gold off getting him back, and that's going to be decently timed, and it's going to really help them in these team fights. And I can't help but feel that the Radiant don't really have a way into this game. Their Mirana's sitting at 39 and 11 on bottom lane, and she's their main carry. She's not a melee hero. She's not going to get much from that Empower. She's going to get the plus damage, of course, but no cleave coming out is going to be quite bad. And I think the Sven and the OD both have very good, well, not very good, but decent farm, and they're just going to be able to walk over the Mirana and kind of lack of any kind of secondary carry late game.
Yeah, if we look at the net worth, they're both solidly above Mirana. And,
yeah.
I mean, it's a Mirana, she doesn't carry well at the best of times.
No, she doesn't. You really have to build a team kind of around her, and even then you'll probably use her as a secondary carry. The smoke is going to be revealed off instantly. The disruption and the Split Earth come out a little bit mistimed there, but they're going to get the kill regardless. The Edict manages to get the last hit there. and they're really sticking together. They're gonna try and push top lane, but the Sven's just gonna TP out and heal up, which is a very smart move. OD TPing in, they know that they're here. They actually had a dire ward spotting out the three of them move up, just sitting here on the high ground. No D-warding from either team yet, so with the smoke being dispelled instantly by the Keeper of the Light, great, they get a kill.
So close to each other.
But it stops, yeah, and it's just so funny with with the way
Charge,
that pulse
Magnus.
works.
Towers having
Charge
technical
through.
difficulties.
He's gonna try and go on the Bane, but he doesn't know that OD's here. He's gonna try and position for his skewer. And Bane sleeps himself, which is a bad move against the skewer, but he uses RP on the Bane, and now there are 3 heroes up here getting very aggro, 4 now from the Dire side, and Dish is going to go down if they can spot him out. The disruption comes out from Shadow Demon, but he goes down to an orb, just no health to counteract that OD damage. Leshrac in a bit of problem, but the Moonlight Shadow is going to be enough to let him hide. He won't have it for quite a while. If the Dire go hunting, they're gonna find him.
They're not gonna find him. I mean, there's no way. But I just want to see some random power shot maybe fly into the trees.
It's like, hey guys, maybe they're there. Oh, the stun's gonna come out on Darkseer, and that's gonna be his death. Very, very kind of bad positioning there from Darkseer. When you're against the stun, they can Warcry and stun from quite a range. Even if you do have Surge, it's not the greatest. You still have the cast time on it. Darkseer likes to do his little beforehand, so
top towers.
you're not going to get away
That has
instantly.
always been my biggest bother as to Darkseer is the little stop he has to do when he casts Surge.
Yeah, exactly.
If he could do that without having to stop moving, if he could even if it was only that he could self-cast it while doing that, you know, if he had to pause to do it on someone else, but he could just self-cast and keep running, that would be the best buff I could think of.
It would be a massive buff and turn him.
I know that he doesn't need it. I know that he's fine as he is, but it's so annoying because you're like, dude, why do you need to stop to do that?
We're going to see a 4-man smoke again dispelled by the Keeper of the Light. I think he's just going to sit here and take it. The Shockwave actually missing, but a nice arrow and a double stun, but no mana for the Magnus, and RP still on cooldown. 2-man Shackle with a power shot follow-up. It's going to be a double kill for Windrunner, who can just follow the Shadow Demon again. One more auto attack from EJ, and then one from Shockz is going to be enough for the kill. The power shot comes through and snipes it off. It's a triple kill for Shockz. A nice little play there, and that's why you don't go uphill when you've got no vision.
Look at where she is.
Where'd she go?
She's up here.
She leapt forward and just got stuck on a cliff.
She was not in that team fight at all.
No.
And she's going to be spotted out by the wards. They know where she's just come from.
That's just really unfortunate for the Mirana. But at 10 for 4, if we take a look at the XP graph, though, 5k had an experience already, and if you take a look at the gold, it's also at 4k, so they're starting to move quite a bit ahead already.
Oh, good arrow.
And arrow gets thrown out. Nice little stun on the OD, but they're not really going to turn anything into it. He just throws out the mech and, you know, gets back most of his health.
It's all for show at this point.
Shockz just sitting in an Invis rune in mid.
Just sitting there, just scouting him out, just saying, come on.
Ping's coming through. We might see a setup with the Shackle shot. OD doesn't have a 4-staff yet, so we're not going to see some nice instantaneous follow-up. The Shackle shot does come out, doesn't lash, but that power shot does so much damage to the Leshrac, who's so under-leveled at this point. And just has only a bracer for really kind of for health purposes, but the pure damage from Brain Sap, the Windrunner, or the power shot damage, as well as the OD Arcane Orb is just way too much for these supports.
Yeah, what can they do? I mean, Magnus, if he could have RP'd in that fight, probably would have killed a few. But he'd use it in a solo RP against the Bane. He just needs to stop wasting this spell.
Well, yeah, solo RPs are fine, but they have to be against a high priority target. Like the Bane is. The Bane is probably the 4th, maybe the 3rd target. Like, he does have his 6 up. He doesn't even have his 6, so I would say he was the 4th
solo
target.
RP Bane, if he is Fiend's gripping your hard carry.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, the stun gets thrown out on Shadow Demon. He doesn't self-destruct in time. The Shackle shot's going to follow through on the Windrunner as well.
So damn dead, I'd shoot you again.
Windrunner has a haste rune. Just going to auto-attack this Leshrac, who does get surged away by Merideus. So Dish is going to be able to escape. Meanwhile, Blue, Patrick Lim might be in a bit of trouble as Blitz and Bane spot him out. But he's going to just be able to run away to the other side of the trees. We're going to see all the heroes apart from the Shadow Demon and OD at bottom lane now. The Moonlight Shadows they do have the RP as well. The Invis is faded through. They don't have any sentries, nor do they have anything. Oh, but no, they have a gem. No sentries on the Bane, and it is actually spotted out there.
Trouble.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The RP thrown out. No, it gets cancelled off. And almost tried to throw out again, but it just doesn't get there. It takes too much damage. The Bane is fiend scripting the SD. He's frantically clicking on him, and he's going to go down to a Keeper of the Light Illuminate. No, Illuminate getting charged now. Needs to let it off. A nice dodge of the oh no, actually it does clip him. Darkseer runs back into it. The shackle shot comes out.
Oh, Mirana goes down.
Mirana just goes down instantly. That's a 4-for-1 trade. They do manage to get the Sven, who is the
Radiant's bottom
secondary carry of the Dire, but a 4-for-1 trade, it's not worth it. It's never worth it.
Radiant's
so they're just
bottom
going to be able
tower
to take down this bottom tower with Focus Fire and right clicks.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And there we go. That's their second tower going to the Windrunner.
There goes Radiant's bottom tower.
Got a couple of wards here that are just watching the same spot on the hill here. While Leshrac and Sven duke it out a little bit, but he's got to be very careful because he's only level 6. Any of these heroes could pretty much solo him. I mean, even the Bane is not going to have too much of a trouble against Leshrac. He's only level 7.
Exactly, a Fiend script into Brain Slap is actually like an absurd amount of damage. I love running the Bane mid lane. Personally, just because that's what I like doing. And just like throwing out that Fiend script and Brain Sap on a hero at around level 6 is basically a free kill for a mid lane hero. The Illuminate's going to come through. It's going to do a lot of damage on Mirana. She gets slept instantly as well. A nice Shackle shot on the Darkseer is going to be the death. The Mana Leak comes out on the Mirana, who's in a bit of trouble. Keeper of the Light gets skewered back, but gets Fiend gripped up. It gets cancelled off because he is disrupted. Sven's stun hits on 2. There's just so much damage coming out from this Dire team. The Radiant can't stand up to it. Patrick trying to throw out some stuns, but gets slept up by the Bane. Meanwhile, EJ kills off the Magnus in the backlines. And that is a complete team wipe. A 5-for-0 trade, and they're just completely steamrolling this game now at 22-5. The XP is now 14,000 in their favor, and the gold similarly is at 12,000.
It's become painful to watch at this point.
Radiant's mid tower
the Radiant,
trouble.
You're done. They're done. They're done.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
I honestly think that it's time to go full Dagon on the Dire side. Dagon's for everyone.
Just put somebody buy a Divine Rapier and then fade it, and then the game will be interesting again.
So Notime is going to be finishing off his BKB. So, and also most likely grabbing an Aegis. It might be going to the OD, who has grabbed up a Mystic Staff, doing a lot of damage. So, I don't know. There's really nothing that the Radiant can do at this point in my mind to get them back in this game.
And of course now Sven has an Aegis. He really doesn't have any items.
Sven?
He has no items. He has treads and drums.
Oh, and a BKB. It's in his stash, but he has a BKB.
Up until this point.
He's had it in his stash for quite a while, but everyone else has been using the courier for like a TP scroll. So he's trying to go back now and get it, but he doesn't have enough space there.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, because he walked back to base and got it. The courier has 5 items on it, so he wouldn't have been able to ferry it out to himself.
No, he wouldn't be able to ferry it out.
He's going to screw this shit, I'll just pick it up myself.
It's almost all being used by Blitz at this point.
Mid tower's having technical
has forgotten
difficulties.
to take his items.
He's going to get up that Force Staff. No, Yule Scepter, sorry. Has the recipe on him, but nothing else.
Yeah, good play, Blitz. Good play.
Who needs good play when you've got a 22-5 advantage? At the moment, the Dire are actually just being really passive. In fact, Sven even using the ultimate to farm off, I believe, a big ancient stack. So, really, the top farmer on the Radiant side is a Darkseer at 5.7k gold, who has just a mech and a soul ring. The Mirana, who's really their main carry, has soul ring and phase boots. That it's not going to do anything. E-Chain just comes forward and drops the Sanity's Eclipse instantly. Doesn't even throw out an imprisonment on anyone. It doesn't even matter. Keeper of the Light, Illuminate Blast follows through. The Strat gets taken out as well. Magnus gets Yulesed up in the air because they know he's going to try and RP, but he doesn't even have the mana for it. And that's
oh, the Windrunner finds the Magnus.
A nice blink.
Somebody's cooking. How about that?
Blink shackle latches.
He must have been sitting just too close to the edge of that hill, and they got vision of it.
The DotA best do something about that bottom tower.
And they're just going to be able to push this tower down. I really want Sven just to go into a Mask of Madness now, and a Crystallis. He does have enough money for the bomb, and he should go just to lend to their tower pushing. Just pop off that ultimate, pop off the Mask of Madness, and go to town on the towers.
Very American item, the Mask of Madness.
In fact, the Mask of Madness icon used to be an American flag on a mask kind of face in the original Warcraft 3. Darkseer trying to do his work. Magnus actually getting an RP off on the OD and the Coddle, but no follow-up. OD is just able to mech through it. And Bane walking through the wall. Not a good idea. He gets killed off by the illusions. In fact, the illusions getting a double kill.
By his own illusions as well.
And
Sven got killed by his own illusion.
It's a decent defense there. The Darkseer wall was really well placed. Could have been slightly better, but I would give it an 8 out of 10 there. And a good follow-up there. Unfortunately, the Magnus did RP them out of range of that wall, and there was no follow-up, so the OD and the Keeper of the Light didn't go down. I think if they were slightly closer, or if the fight was focused a bit further behind, maybe if he had a Blink Dagger to skewer them back, or, you know, RP skewer them back, then they would have got a full team wipe in that situation.
Sven's grabbed that Mask of Madness. He grabbed that somehow while he was dead.
You can still buy items when you're done. It doesn't
hits.
Oh, but it's gone into his inventory.
That's what I mean. It's somehow gone. It was in his stash like before he died, and then it's gone into his inventory somehow.
How odd. Maybe it just created a dummy unit or something.
I don't know.
Before he respawned. I'm not too sure.
That's really bizarre. Might just be a spectating glitch.
Possibly. It looks like that Darkseer is now also trying to build a hood just to counteract some of the magic damage coming out from that Illuminate. Just giving their creeps a chance to stand up. They do spot out Cashen. The stun gets thrown out, doesn't disrupt in time, and the Brain Sap's going to kill him off.
Yeah, I mean, Darkseer is from the hood, the interdimensional hood. Raised on the mean streets, as it were.
Playing the B-ball with his ion shell. No other kids wanted to play with him.
Because they'd just take damage.
This ball too spiky. And they are going to transition into a tower push. The Magnus RP still on cooldown for another 1 second. It's back now. But Sven just comes through with the stun. The Moonlight Shadow's thrown out. Oh, the Sanity's Eclipse and the Power Shot's going to kill them off. A Sentry Ward's placed down. And I really think that the Radiant should just pick up a gem. They're not really going to be at a disadvantage if the enemy gets the gem. They might be able to de-ward a tiny bit. But it's going to stop the only escape that the Dire really have outside of Surge. And Skewer.
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
Why is Invis there? Why do they have invisibility? I'm confused.
Moonlight Shadow from Mirana.
That's on the Radiant.
Yeah. The Dire need to pick up a gem to counteract the invisibility.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think you said the other way around.
Possibly. It happens sometimes. Notime gets 4-star forward. Also, the Windrunner blinking forward throws out the stun on the SD, who disrupts himself. Just going to die in one hit as soon as he comes back. The BKB and Mask of Madness getting popped off as well as the ultimate, but he's got no one to hit on, so he's going to take a lot of damage from that tower. Of course, when he's not life-stealing, Sven does go down decently fast, especially if the Warcry isn't up. It is now, and they're going to be able to take down this tower. A nice stun there from Mirana. It's going to take out that winner for quite a bit, but ooh, the Illuminate's going to do a lot of damage. The Arcane Orb follow-up. EJ is godlike. Going to get disrupted there. But the good game gets called out now, and it's no surprise. They're going to take a Rax right now, and at the moment they are...
We didn't see that coming at all.
20k XP ahead and about 18k gold ahead. So that
Merideus was simply outdrafted, I think.
I think it was a mistake not getting better carries, but I think the bigger mistake was grouping up so early and trying to push in against the Keeper of the Light. It didn't do anything for them.
It really didn't. I mean, Mirana is just a terrible hero. Really,
the way that they drafted it, yes, Mirana was not a good hero to pick up as the 5th.
I just don't see her value.
She's a great tool for ganking. You can pop off that Moonlight Shadow before a gank. If you have something like an RP, it can be excellent. It was almost great at bottom lane there, but unfortunately the Dire had a Sentry Ward there to spot him out.
Yeah.
And Danavis. Don't forget Danavis. So a flawless game there from EJ, 9-0-14 with a nice healthy GPM as well. Sven actually getting higher than him in the end with some nice kills and just general farming the ancient stack with that cleave.
I think man of the match has to go to Windrunner though.
Yeah, the excellent shackles coming out there. Some great shackle shots, some nice power shot snipes as well. And the pick up with the blink and force, just so much utility and just positioning power to set up those shackle shots.
Just so mobile.
The poor Shadow Demon sitting only at level 6 at the end of that game.
Poor SD.
With 82 XP a minute, that's gotta hurt.
That's painful.
So good game.